Hello, everyone. Hello, welcome. My name is Katie. Sometimes I forget to say that due to my ADHD because I'm like formulating what I'm going to be talking about during the whole video and I forget what my intro is. At some point, maybe I'll have a different intro. I don't want to rank things as good or bad. But my channel is called Planning My Energy. Because I've noticed most of my life that I've noticed most of my life that my energy really does, wax and wane. I was trying to think of the terms. Just rise and fall depending on where my cycle is, due to PCOS, due to things I've had since childhood, and now with Crohn's, and I don't know. It's a lot to deal with, but I'm mainly trying to put on paper what my brain won't remember on its own, the details of it. I used to be so detail-oriented. I would remember like so many numbers. I would remember like answers on math tests and page numbers of things, like all those things when I was young. And then, high school kind of hits, and through high school a bit, and then the brain fog took over, and living on your own and navigating. I moved to a different city at that point for college, and it just kind of slowly starts going away, right? That's pretty normal for that. But so I started keeping a journal a planner in like 2004. I had versions of it before that. I loved having stationery and Trapper Keepers, back in the day, in the 90s there. And I'm just trying to think of my transition into planners. I'm not going to get into that whole thing, but I'm just saying, like, the whole purpose was to put my schedule down because my hours would vary. I had an internship, I think, at the time coming out of, no, that was much later. I know I was keeping track of hours in my internship in about 2000. And so you can guess how old I am. And it was really important for me and then like the 2004, it was really important because I was doing overtime and my shifts varied greatly at that point. I was I was working at like a print house that there would be kind of a morning shift and an evening shift, and I was the process controller. So that was like organizing all the projects within the pre-press. So the press wasn't there. Like we would send the files, I think to Greensboro. I think that was the major printing hub. And various printing hubs, but that was probably the big one. And so we had people coming in from 6 or 7 a.m. to 7 to 9 p.m. And so we would split, checking over everything and where the projects were and everything. And this was before I ever went solo with a lot of my design stuff. And it was just so much to keep track of. And now that I'm a mom and still running my businesses over 20 years later, I hit the 20-year mark over the summer. I thought I missed that because I was about to I kind of let things lapse for a couple weeks. And so technically my business was shut down, but then I kicked it back up and just said, sorry, I'm late. So at the very end, the last 2 weeks of my 20 years of my American business, it lapsed a little and then I renewed it. So would you call that closed? Tell me in the comments. I don't care. In my heart, I kept it alive for 20 years. I now own a business here in the Netherlands, and amazingly, through the whole move experience, I didn't write as much down. There was just so much, I had so much adrenaline. It just, fortunately, all the big stuff, I think I kept a lot digital. I think that's actually what went on, because there were weeks here. What I did was, let's see, is this June? I don't even know. Where am I? Where's my months? Here's June. Okay, so yeah, I went in June, and so this was like just getting here. Yeah, I flew over, and so I kind of used this because I was here, and then I left going back. So I had like a lot that I was keeping track of. Then I decorated for this week, and then this week. And I did bring this back, but I left all my stickers and everything. And, I kind of wrote all this down, but I didn't do anything here because it was just so chaotic. And I just put like quick little notes. And then it just went really plain for a while because this is when we left. This I didn't even plan at all because this was our first week here. I have nothing because jet lag, because we put furniture together, and then I was able to come back, and I was going to go to the beach here for my birthday, and I didn't. We ended up going to the beach later. But yeah, even here was like very sparse here. So I wanted to show this too. Like I just put a gray WASHI, not WASHI, sorry, gray Tombow to just plan that out. And then I kind of got back into things, right? Then still some emptiness, and now we're kind of back into it. So, do what you have to. This is like this last week. I didn't write too much on here, but I definitely was keeping track of some more things here. And I think what I realized was I was tracking too much. And I kind of alluded to this, about a few weeks ago. Rebecca, and I'll link her below. I don't know if I linked to her last time. She had what's it called? Not a mailing list, the Substack, where she was talking about like maybe, for her anyway, she was tracking too much, and it was just like the trackers were way overwhelming. And I'm like, I even looked back over this last week, and I'm like, why isn't this filled out more? And I'm like, wait, why is my brain wanting this to be massively full? When you are having low energy days, having long to-do lists just staring at you is not going to help. There are critical things that you have to get done, right? There's like deadlines for paperwork or getting food into the house, or, certain critical things that you can't miss. And I personally want to like focus on those and focus on integrating into our new surroundings here as well. And that takes time. That takes pulling back away from your planner, leaving it here, going out into the world. And those things can't be planned as much. So it's a balance, right? And that's mainly all I wanted to talk about at the beginning here, is just like, what do you actually put in your planner? How do you stick to the same structure all the time? Does mixing it up help if things are getting boring? There's so many different factors in all of that. Yeah, and it can be very personalized, and it can take a lot of trial and error, or you could talk with people, or get ideas from YouTube, or, have a planning group that you get together with. Sometimes just a new sticker kit can help. And I know stickers are expensive too. Like most of the, like just a medium size sticker can be $4 to $5, €4, you know. And if you add that up times 52, that's over 200. And yeah, it's, what is it worth? Is it, you know, these pens here, and I'm using these two if you need numbers at all, 020 and 912. And these can be a couple, I think they're about 3 something on jet pens. I have not, I sourced a local shop I need to check out soon. It's more near Amsterdam. And seeing, out of all the ones I have, a lot of the ones I don't have are like blues, dark blues, and they're going to be like really heavy on this page. And so I don't even know if I'll get them. What I'm trying to say is, like, with $3 or $4 on a couple pens, sometimes the packs are like 20 something, and then like having that for the year, like that's all you need sometimes, because sometimes you need colors to stand out, or you just need, what I used to do in 2004 was just a black pen and a book. There was nothing fancy about it. And again, that was over 20 years ago. It wasn't the planner world. There was definitely planners and pretty things going on then, but not to the point where there's actual YouTube channels about it like here. So I'm going to keep kind of talking along that wavelength here, but I got this from the Color Cafe, which was via Journal Blend here in the Netherlands. She stocked some of the Color Cafe stuff, but this is, sorry, like this, it's from Mindwave. So it's not a Color Cafe exclusive. It's, as far as I know. I don't know. I need to shop more on Color Cafe to actually be familiar with what they have, but I just know that Color Cafe shipped to Journal Blend here, so it'd be local. And so, yeah, I am not going to use the stickers that I got in that same order, even though they kind of match this washi. I'm going to save those for next year, but I was like, but I have plenty of washi here. Like this, it's not the thickest roll, but there's enough here for me to decorate a few times, right? And I wanted something a little whimsical. I'm trying to think if I want to go vertical with this. That to me almost feels like lace or like flower sheets for some reason when I go vertical, but when I go this way, it's not so much. I don't know. That's just my initial feeling on that. So I know I look at a lot of creators, and I'm going to go through the little divot here, and I see like beautiful, almost artwork type. I didn't even get my little bag out. Artwork type spreads. I think I was just reading as a comment, someone was like, how do you pick out all the layering of things? Oh, I think it was a comment on, I'd have to look that up, but you know what I'm talking about, where like everyone has, not everyone, but many creators have that like layered look, and it can be more modern or it can be more antique looking, and it's an art form. It's definitely an art form. And all I'm trying to do with what that's not working so well, is trying to be functional and make some sections here and put some colors on the page. I do find it really interesting as graphic designer. I think what kept me from, I never was in the happy planner stuff, but what kept me from putting a lot of stickers at first, because I was also late to the train, right, of just putting any stickers in by the time I'm like started getting nicer planners, I still kind of held off because I did feel it was a little odd. And this is just purely my bias. This is only my bias because I totally turned around and started using stickers, right? So I did not understand, I think is a good way to put it, because I think it just takes sitting down and understanding where people are coming from and the reasons why, and we can very much be ignorant of just not knowing why people do things. I was just like, why are you decorating with other people's art? I guess is where I came from it. Because as a graphic designer, you make your own art and you're not using other people's. I mean, you can license it. But I was also very much licensed lots of work. I would license lots of photos, but not so much art, or sometimes artwork, because I wasn't able to draw very well. But yeah, I had this total just when you come from like pure, I don't know, you guys can call me wrong on all of this. My experience was I had this very uppity look at, hey, I have to create all my own digital work. But I wasn't putting things on paper, right? Like I was more of a web designer. So I always felt like, why are you using other people's work when you can create your own? I can laugh at it now, right? Like if you run a business, you don't have time to make all that work. You don't have and you may not have the skill set either. I mean, I thought I could draw somewhat, and no, there's people who can do it 10 times better than I can. And it's not about who's better at what. It's just that you need a combination of skills and assets and resources to get things done that you want to get done. And it was just very naive of me at the time to just go, well, I'm just going to create all myself, and why would I pay for licensing? And it was more like, how does licensing even work? And I didn't understand it, right? Like that's where I needed to learn more about that, and then also learn how to layer all those things. And that's where I'm kind of coming back to that concept of, I'm going to have to do this kind of layering down here, of combining, and my hand's a little unsteady here. Sorry, I'm concentrating really hard. So when I guess my mindset was like, when you're using washi tape, it's like using licensed art, whether it's clip art, whether it's, I mean, that's the old word of saying things, but any kind of stock imagery or anything. I'm like, but that's somebody else's work in your planner. What else are you going to do? Hand draw. And people do hand draw tons of stuff in their journals, and that's all they do. And they are artists in that way. And I think I kept comparing myself to those people. And I was like, well, if I'm not going to like totally draw up anything, why am I just putting stickers in a book? And it's like, no, there's your own enjoyment. It's just your own enjoyment of doing your own things and whatever makes you happy in your book, right? That's number one, that you enjoy the process of making something with your hands. Much like scrapbooking, it's like there's huge communities who come together and use stickers and papers and paints and all these different mediums to come together to create. And sometimes they're even 3D, right? I've seen a lot of, I've never scrapbooked, but I've been in the scrapbooking aisles and picked up some things that are really cool. I mean, they're amazing. You can't just, the combination of like layering up paper so it looks 3D with little foam things, the little, I don't know what they're called, but you put the piece of paper on foam so it kind of starts layering up, and then you put like something metal on there, and then I'm just thinking of like if it's a little Halloween house and you have like a little metal black bat on there, and then you have like the little ghost is popping up, or are you going to spend all day making that? Some people do, and that's their joy. But yeah, oh man, I was so ignorant of like being on my high horse, and I had to come down off of that. I really did. And so I might use this as well because I thought these kind of matched. Our sun is like almost gone, and I have 4 seagulls on the rooftop just kind of staring at me across the way here. I took a little picture actually while filming, and I might include it here. We'll see. I'm not great at like remembering to put in a photo because there's several times where I'm like, I'll try to put a photo in, and you don't see it, do you, in my video? Anyway, these colors are making me happy right now. This layout's making me happy. I did see this last week that the Twines and Paper store was completely down. So that is why I don't recommend this planner. A couple people have asked, and I'm just like, I can't, because she's just not there. She said she'd be there this year, but now I'm in the boat because last year was my first year ordering from her. Sorry, I got to keep drinking water. I've been coughing a lot. It's kind of allergy related. I tried to give her the benefit of the doubt last year, but then many people were piping up saying, no, she's done this in years past. So now I'm part of that group, and it's unfortunate. The people who were trying to order from her this year, and if you did place an order, please try to get a refund as soon as possible. You don't want to go over that 180 days because it can get stuck. But yeah, I do not recommend this one. So I ordered the Sterling ink. If you want to look at the video before this, core planner, I'm pretty excited about. It's going to be that or the A5 rings, and it's very hard to decide between those two. And then I also ordered a Faded Chronicle hybrid, which has a lot. It's very similar, where you have the weeklies and you have like a very gridded area here, and we'll see what I end up using. But some people asked to see setup videos of them, and so I'll be working on those coming up. Sorry, the sticker's having trouble. Where was I going right before I lost my train of thought? Like right before. What time is it? 3:30. Oh, it's starting to get a little dark. That's what's going on. I think I'll put this here for the weekend. Excuse me. So anyway, now I enjoy loving putting other people's art, especially if it's their own art. I understand people license stuff now, and you'll see multiple shops licensing the same things for their stickers. I try to go to a source, and I try to order from sticker places who illustrate their own. It's just my preference. I don't see anything wrong with licensing. Again, I feel you have to be very careful on your licenses, but you can definitely pick up a license that allows you to, sell stickers at large quantities. And you just have to make sure you have the right license for it. Because people do it all the time now. But yeah, and so like the inserts that I sell, actually I'll just say I finally got the site back up. I had to take it down for 2 months because it was in Shopify, and with my business here, like, you can definitely use Shopify, but I looked around and I found some cheaper and I feel like a little better alternative in terms of how I'm using my shop. And anyway, I got that all set back up again, and I'm going to be I do like a yearly reflection on how the insert that I use, that I sell, this insert here, which is about high energy, medium energy, low energy. You can put whatever you want on the sides, and mapping this out. So yeah, I'll link this below. I have it in A5, B6, personal, TN. I don't have passport or pocket size. That's what I need to work on next. I think I might be able to do that I think in the next couple weeks I could get that done. If anyone's interested in those specific sizes, because I know a lot of people are using pocket. I have 5 sizes. So I do have an A5 slim. I don't have a B slim yet, but you can kind of insert it here, or you can punch holes in it. It's all on the website. So, yeah, I find this helpful. But I also want to kind of revisit every year and use it differently. I don't think I'd do a big redesign on it. I might offer like a slightly different one. You can also use it horizontal. But I find it like, is it too complicated, all the info that I'm putting on there? Is there a way to back off and put a little bit less info? That's kind of where I'm at with it, because I find different ways of using it every year. And so I've done 2 videos in the last 2 years on it. And they've always been really well received. I'm amazed at how many people just hop on there. Even I feel like I've already talked about them, but it was like a year ago. So yeah, you got to bring it up every year. So I will be revisiting that and doing a video on that and seeing how I use it this year. Yeah, so that's coming up. But yeah, if you go to sanctuarypaper.co, .com works as well, but that's where it'll take you. So if you are interested in any of those inserts, I will be going back to, now that that shop's back up, and now that, yeah, I'm going through all my websites right now and updating them. So it takes a lot to build out an e-commerce website, right? And to get all my new, there's certain things you have to have in the footer here for your business. You have to have your KVK number and your VAT number always in your footer. So, along with other things like the GDPR and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, it was good to finally get that site back up. And then I also updated my katiesanders.com site, and that is up and more clear now. And that's where I do coaching if you are stuck with your planning or with trying to balance chronic illness, neurodivergency, neurodivergence thinking. Neurodivergency isn't a word. So being neurodivergent, sometimes you can just get really, really overwhelmed, don't know where to start. I do coaching through that site. That's enough about my stuff. I need to finish this up here. I am liking this a lot. This is just the right amount of decoration that I want, and I just wanted like 2 little touch points on each page. So I'm going to bring up my son's schedule because it is all over the place. And even this last week, he had like usually Monday mornings. I'm just taking a quick look through them. They all look on time, like as expected. There's nothing weird happening. He had a series of assessments this last week, and so there were some cancellations, and he was coming home early because they just needed to get, the tests are over. He might get moved around. I would not be surprised because they're looking at what levels people are at and, addressing their needs. Okay. 13:45. Yeah, he was like coming home at like 12:30 every day. And then I had a lab last week and I got that all done. I keep thinking 14:30 is 4 o'clock. Still working on getting used to 24-hour time. Oh, but this Wednesday is still shorter. It's very much more like college classes, kind of. But I think you're not in this solid of classes this much out of the week. I don't know. When I went to school, it was part-time. It was like you were either in the 9 to 12, the 1 to 4. So they were 3 hours. Each class was 3 hours. They were very concentrated. We didn't have multiple of them throughout the week. We just had like one a week. And so 1 to 4, and then 5:30 to 8:30, I think, or 6 to 9, something like that. I ended up switching to having all evening classes because the people there were awesome. If you ever want to take classes with people who really want to be there, go to the evening classes because those are the people who are working all day long and then show up for class in the evening, and they are dedicated. Those are the people you want to have on your group projects, honestly. It's like, I had so much trouble with group projects. And this is art school, right? It's like, art media school. People, a lot of ADHDers and stuff, like, they could flake out. But there was also a lot of people who went there when they were young. And I was straight out of high school when I went to college. And so I did fumble around a little and I had to change my major. It wasn't too big a deal, but I went from photography to like what they call interactive media at the time, which was just web development. And where was I going with that? So yeah, a lot of art students, because their parents were paying for it, they just didn't care. It wasn't, I would be in classes in the morning and they were just really didn't want to be there. But yeah, those evening classes, I met the most amazing people. So this last week. I really like the side labels, and I think I'm going to do it again. So, but I think I need a little bit more room here, so I'm going to put meals here. And then I think I'm going to put my to buy here. And then maybe something else here. And this is like my admin. And then over here, I want to do, actually, I think I want to write it a little lower. So work items here. Why do I feel like I want to put them here? I try to let the ink dry a little bit before I erase. I do find it helps a little bit. Someone kind of clued me in on that. I don't think it really matters. I'm just trying to make them symmetrical here. And then, okay, let's do habits on the side. I haven't really done that before. And then I'm going to put it here. Chores I need to do, which is, I know, chores and the habits sometimes kind of meld together. And then the card I'll pick, I'll put down here. And so I will put the weather on top here, or I can put it across the top actually because there's no stickers. Sunday. Oh, this is a different. Oh, I just switched it. Okay. Actually, sorry, I'm just playing with the app to show me different information because I want to put the percentage. I think we're going to do it across the top here. Okay, so Monday. 12, 10, and then 25%. We're going to get into a little bit colder here, 13.9. But then it warms up again because the cloud. Well, no, the cloud cover's kind of gone. In the Pacific Northwest, when we got any kind of rain, it was just a blanket. And there's like a 2% chance here. See, it got warmer, but then there's definitely less. We got some fog and some beautiful sunrises, as I've been sharing in my posts here on YouTube. Thursday. Okay. It's the same number, so I got a little confused. I'm trying to be consistent about where I write these. And this is getting a little close, but that's okay. 15, 11, 75. Definitely some rain coming then. And then Saturday. Saturday is when we have our Santa Claus. Klaus? I actually don't know. I have to look that up. 14:10. That's in the afternoon here, and they're going to block off part of our street just for a little while. So they mailed us some info about that. And then it gets colder here. 12, 8, 22. Okay. And I need to, you know what? I was going to pick a new card just now, but I'm not, because this last week's really helped. I have been getting so much stuff done, even though, oh, and I mentioned in my post, I may not have showed up today because I really hurt my back bad yesterday. And, oh, I was in so much pain, and I didn't have a heating pad. So I ordered one and it's coming today, but, I need to start seeing a chiropractor again. Anyway, so this card here, the determination drive, with determination and drive, be brave in following your greatest dreams. So that helps so much. We're just going to carry it through because I'm still in the middle of, let's see, do I want to do it here? I think it'll go all the way across. So, determination and drive. Be brave. Plenty of room. Okay. So be brave in following your greatest dreams. Definitely can use that energy. What else am I missing? I'm always missing something. And that's okay. That's okay. Because I usually find as I'm using it throughout the week, I'm like, oh, I totally forgot to put this on. And then I put it on there. And you know what? It all works out. It all works out. Appointments. That's what I was going to look at. So we do have an IKEA delivery on Monday. There were some last things. We were trying to get a couple rugs. They are not in stock. But we did need like a bunch of other stuff. So they're going to come and deliver it and we'll bring it up to our flat. I'm just trying to find this. Okay. Oh, and I also have, see, this is why I'm looking. I have a phone chat at, I think I'll list it first because I have a feeling my med doc and I need to chat about if I'm going to do infusions or shots. And then we have trash night. And what else we got? That it? Just a busy Monday? I'll take it because like right now I need to touch base with some people I've been meaning to connect with here in town and in Amsterdam. There's like 3 ladies I need to get back to. And just go out and meet them with them and stuff and hang out a little bit. And I needed to get my second infusion in. I was kind of on call about that. Then I was, my back was just spasming yesterday. At one point I was trying to get out of the bed quickly because we had a worker coming over because there's a leak on our terrace that's leaking down below to the unit below us. The unit below us is a business, fortunately. And we had been hearing some drilling down there, but we had no idea it was associated with us. So they came and I think they fixed most of it, but they're probably going to come back possibly a little bit on Monday and do the last little bit. Fortunately, like there's some tiles out on our terrace and they just had to lift a few and now it's mostly covered up, but they just got to do a tiny bit more. Anyway, all these kind of things finally to have and then have my sites mostly done. I've been working on Patreon as I've been talking about for a very long time. I had to switch it over to my new business, but I had to get my new business set because I didn't get all the names on there. Fortunately, just adding and subtracting names was very easy and didn't cost anything. Every time I added and subtracted trade names in the US, you had to pay like $15. But anyway, I was just switching over Patreon, all like financial stuff to be from here, all that jazz. I wanted to apologize. I saw on there just last night that there were 3 people who just signed up for the free account, which is totally fine. It's almost just like subscribing to my newsletter, right? You're just waiting to hear more words of when I'll be over there. I had not given out that info, but I did link it in my description here on YouTube because I just didn't want to forget. So thank you for all of you who signed up there, and it made my day just to see like the beginnings of support there when I had not even, seen anybody, not even given out any information. And I'm not going to give it out quite yet either, unless you want to be proactive and go to my description. I'm not saying do that because there's going to be an announcement coming up, but I am forming all of that. There's just so much. So to sum up, having a week like this where there's not much on here, I am just trying to take advantage of this because it's going to get busier, and I just needed to kind of be in my little sanctuary here and just kind of huddle down and get things worked out. So, some more announcements coming out about that and videos and all that jazz and doing setups and all of that. So trying to keep it simple though, trying to keep only the most important things on here for this week. I guess I could put the 11 o'clock on here. That is kind of set in stone. So I'll put a call here, and then we'll see when IKEA, they'll alert tomorrow sometime about what their window is going to be. And yeah, I'm just savoring this. I'm savoring it. I'm getting stuff done. I'm trying to think what is after Patreon and I was going to work on. Besides videos, I'm not talking content, but there was the podcast. That's what it was. So things are coming together slowly and surely. Yeah. Anyway, thank you everyone for being here. Thank you again for all your support. I absolutely love answering comments. I got some great comments this last week. And I just loved connecting about the excitement of new planners and new things to come and being ready. I will have a bit of a sale on my shop, sanctuarypaper.co. There is a coupon up there right now, so you're welcome to use that because it's kind of a relaunch coupon. I will offer, so that's a 15%. I will offer 20% for Black Friday, and then those will go away. So get them while you can. They're not too pricey. They're things that you can download and print and put into bound or ring planners. All the info is there. Yeah, there's just a lot, but I feel like I'm putting each egg into my basket, but I'm not counting them yet, right? Okay, take care, everyone. If you enjoyed this, like it or subscribe, whatever you want to do. I appreciate all my subscribers here. It does make a huge difference, and I will see you soon. Bye.